Alright, welcome everybody to round number 12 of the Trackstyles Porsche Cup. We currently have split 2 going on, so we had qualifying yesterday. There's some pretty solid times going around, so everything is set so far. Everyone's at the right power and weight, we're good to go. So I'm joined by my fellow commentator, Mr. Enspud.
Yes, DJ, good evening. Yes, it's very weird for us to be racing a Porsche Cup on a Friday, but we have a really stacked lineup here, ladies and gentlemen, with our Porsche Cup series, where we are racing our first 2 races here tonight on Friday evening, or we could say late afternoon, early evening. But then we have our 3rd race, the combined total of races in race 3 on Sunday. But right now we're heading into race 1. I'll let you call it out, DJ, because I've got to get my lobby set up.
Yeah, well, we're just waiting for the lights to go green. We've got H1 Waller here on pole. Waiting for the lights are on, which is about 5 seconds. And green flag. We are ready to go racing. So far, everyone's on the grid. All well and nice into turn 1. Very nice. Flick back to the field. Got Venti, who looks like he's missed the start.
Oh, that's not a good start for Venti, that's for sure. Obviously, we've had a few latecomers into the Division 2 race. So we've had Venti Supersofts. It's Racing was one of them. Sir Slayer was another one. But look at that, Sir Slayer has gone from down the rear of the grid. He's already up into 6th place, DJ. That's an incredible start for Sir Slayer.
Yeah, he's obviously had a really good start there, but not far behind him is the 95 in It's Racing, so definitely be on the lookout for him. So he's currently harassing the back of Rockaluli there, but it was in the briefing that it is a one-way from pretty much the cutting all the way through to the elbow. So we know these guys are pretty hungry racers, but we have warned them that they will be penalised if they cause any accidents and stuff like that over the top by trying to make some unnecessary moves. So we'll see pretty good so far in the first lap. We got, as you said, 2 races tonight, both 5 laps. Initially we've got so the split 2.
Oh, Mats Marco has had a bit of a get-together with his teammate Voss. He almost had a get-together with his teammate Voss, but just lost it on the elbow there. So a bit unlucky for Mats Marco, who's making his Track Stars Days debut. We were meant to see him in the GS3 Championship, but he hasn't been able to do a race with us just yet. So it's good to see him in the Porsche Cup and showing what he's made of. But look at this, DJ, just so many cars gathered across Conrod Straight, all coming down to the chase, and the one that's come out on top of it has been Sir Slayer. So far, the man of the match goes to Sir Slayer in the It's Racing Esports camp.
Yeah, he's just jumped up into 3rd place there, but funnily enough, he runs for It's Racing, but he runs under ISR in the Porsche Cup. So
yes, that's right, yes.
There. You see the yellow flag. Oh, H1 Wallet.
Yeah, he had a bit of a... I didn't catch that. He ran a little bit too wide. He must have run a little bit too deep coming into the chase there, but he was off circuit there, unfortunately. And as we do see, Venti is still on the grid and not moving at all. So it's for him to obviously get back on his driver's seat, and obviously he's probably having a bit too much time on the throne, so he needs to get back on his racing seat very shortly. But we're on lap 2, ladies and gentlemen. We've got ourselves a new leader. We have Sergeant Bowler in 1st place, with Robo Sport in 2nd place, right on the tail of Sergeant Bowler, with Sir Slayer in 3rd place, Voss in 4th, who's been showing some great performances in the TS3 and looks like he's holding his own in 4th place, with Mats Marco in 5th place in the Ironside camp, and It's Racing in 6th place, doing a nice job from the rear of the grid. So the 2 drivers in Sir Slayer and It's Racing, they're going to be the hot favourites to take the victory or even the podiums in Division 2 racing, DJ.
Yeah, let's just see what's going on here, boys. Settle down. I think it was Vossi trying to go too wide into the skyline there, so Sir Slayer hits the inside wall there, and Vossi just tries to make a too wide there, but unfortunately, my friend, that is not a too wide position to go.
Oh, that was close. He almost caused a big accident there, but luckily he gathered it up and he kept it calm. And looks like we've seen Robbo drop down to 6th place there. So big mistake from Robbo. So I'm thinking these guys are just. I wonder if some of these guys have just jumped on the game, DJ, and they're just cutting some laps now because it looks like they've forgotten how to drive a Porsche.
Yeah, well, obviously some of them are actually coming from the GR2. So we obviously had qualifying last night for the main series. We had qualifying 1, so I'm thinking maybe they're coming out of their TS2 and TS1 cars. Oh, the yellow flag's from Benton.
Yeah, he's still there, stuck in the grid, but that's all good. But leading the way still, we've got Sergeant Blower coming out of Hell Corner up towards the long stretch that is Mountain Straight, where you're plucking through the gears, just trying to rev the hell out of the Porsche 911, because this car does need a lot of revs to get the power down and to kick and just to try and pull away from your competitors. But the slipstream is quite strong with these cars when you are in close proximity, even obviously because they are like equal power and weight distributions. So the slipstream is quite strong, but it looks like Sir Slayer's taken advantage of that to get to 2nd place with It's Racing in 5th place. But Benjo has come up the grid very nicely. He's in 6th place, and he is in contention for the championship in the elite class championships, where this format's a bit of a different format compared to our normal Porsche Cup series, where we actually get in the top pro, we're getting the pros and the elites mixtures together, DJ, and obviously it's producing some pretty good racing, with Sir Slayer being in 2nd place. And well, you could say It's Racing was part of the pro class, but obviously you can say between Sir Slayer and It's Racing, you can say the pro so far is going towards Sir Slayer in 2nd place.
Yeah, definitely going to do that. And then Sergeant Bolo gets really edgy there into the K. Elbow there, but certainly nothing you want to do with this, how strong this slipstream is. You can see he's tucked in that slipstream there, so trying to get the camera's glitched out. Oh, he started to make a move down the inside there, so I'll try and get that on a bit of a replay. Yeah, so you can really see how strong that slipstream is dragging.
Yeah. It is very strong. It's very potent when it comes to the slipstream. So, he just gets it on the inside there. Does he make that move? It looks like he has come out of the chase in the lead, and yes, he has done. So he's come through with the lead of the race, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got Sir Slayer leading the race from Sergeant Bowler, with Vossi in 3rd place. It's Racing has moved himself up into 4th place, with Isa Matsumoto in 5th place, Benjo in 6th place. So I wonder, within the eyesight cam, I wonder if Matsumoto is going to actually maybe yield that position to Benjo to probably help his chances with the championship, despite obviously for Matsumoto making his debut in Porsche Cup. It'll probably be good for him to keep the top 5, but obviously he's got his team boss right behind him.
Yeah, like they're not, like for me, they're not really close enough to start to do that. But yeah, possibly when he does get a bit closer, he might that position. I'm not overly sure what these guys talk about with their team and stuff like that, but yeah, if that was me and my teammate was behind me for going for the championship, I'd definitely let him pass and give him a bit of a tow, certainly. So yeah,
and it shows that qualifying is key. Obviously, they always say qualifying is key around the mountain, and obviously in the Porsche Cup, qualifying is key for allocating lobby positions, because if you look in the Division 1, as we put the results out last night, we see 4 of the drivers in the elite class are actually in the Division 1 race, late coming straight after this Division 2 race. So you've got 4 guys in the championship that are contending for a championship title, and those 4 drivers will be getting the maximum points. As we see Vossi think about a move around the outside, which it goes from the inside to the outside, and they're still going side by side onto the chase. Beautiful racing between those two. A bit of argy-bargy, but a nice move from Vossi over Sergeant Bowler, with It's Racing right on the heels of Vossi. Can he go for an outside move on Bowler? Yes, he does, but he doesn't make that move. He gets pushed a bit wide, and It's Racing catches that magnificently. So well done to these guys. Top racing from those 3.
Yeah, that was very incredible to watch it. It's always good seeing people go too wide through the chase there. Like, I know it might be a bit edgy when you're actually racing, but definitely spectating around this place, seeing people go too wide is obviously something spectacular. Obviously, on a game, it's a lot different. As you see, Baller defending that inside, and then it's Racer trying to go up there as well. He's kind of juked him out, and he's made that inside move stick there.
Oh, he's made the narrow gap, the most narrowest of gaps that we've ever seen. Oh, he's even on the grass as well, so that's incredible. Yeah, so that shows commitment from the team, from the Trackstars admin and It's Racing, and makes a bold move on Sergeant Bowl. They did push him a little bit wide though, so I wonder if they might maybe do a bit of a swap positions, but I'm not so sure. But I think I would say if I was to shoot, I'd say that's fair game.
Yeah, I definitely say that's fair game, but if you take it back a couple of corners, he did the same thing to It's back at Murray's, so it might be a bit of you did this to me, mate, I'll do it back to you. So no, mate, that's all hard, really good racing. But you see, he juked him out to go back to the left, so
he just went a little bit too tail happy there at the dip, and he just lost all of that time. So that was a nice, good start for Sargent to be in the lead, but obviously just reality check puts you down in 4th place. But leading the way down Conrod Straight for the final time in the first race of the Trackstars Porsche Cup here at Mount Panorama. We have Sir Slayer for the ISAR camp leading the way ahead of Vossi and It's Racing, your podium contenders. But it's not over yet. Vossi's giving It's Racing a bit of a good slipstream here down towards the chase. Will It's go for the late dive? He's gone for the late dive. He's pulled it up. And he's done a magnificent job to pull that car up. So take a bow, It's Racing, as we catch that quick replay before we get to the check flag. And another fine margin there for It's Racing. A beautiful stuff, Jarman. That was a beautiful move you made there on Vossi there. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We have our winner, Sir Slayer 1991. For the ISAR camp, with It's Racing in 2nd and Vossi in 3rd. And here we go, side by side, Break Late versus Benjo. Who comes out on top? It is Break Late ahead of Benjo, with Matsumaka in 3rd place. We have Broccolilli in 4th, Robo Sport in 9th place, with NZL Cowboy in 10th, and H4M Wallet, who took pole position in Division 2, is all the way back down in 11th place. So very, very unlucky for H4M Wallet. But so far, the guys that started at the rear, DJ, are the ones at the front of the are on the positions 1 and 2 and after the first race.
Yeah, that was very outstanding. You can just see the consistency there. So let the people fight in front of you, and you can just kind of pierce through the field.
Exactly right. And I did see. I have been messaging James O'Bro. He just joined your lobby, so you might have to probably sort the grid out for when James O'Bro comes in for the second race. But as we see Venti coming down the forest, a bit too fast there, buddy. But obviously shouldn't. I don't know how long the timer goes for Porsche Cup races, but he's cutting it a bit fine. We've got about 2 minutes before we get ready for the second race, before we get ready for the main event. So running on a tight schedule here at Trackstars Racing Series. We have an action-packed weekend for you guys that are joining us here on the Trackstars Racing Series YouTube channel. Please do subscribe and follow us for the rest of the weekend, where we have our Porsche Cups, our first 2 Porsche Cup races tonight, followed by our qualifying. I'm not so sure if that's going to be broadcasted, DJ, on your end.
I'm not overly sure yet. Yeah, I'll kind of make a decision later, but I might not. We'll see how it goes, I guess.
We'll see. And then I guess in a way we have our 2-hour showroom showdown, where you get all your, basically you could say, showroom cars that you see on the front of the glass mirrors. And then you just drive it or blast it around for 2 hours. We could just play some tunes through the radio. You can, have a cold beverage whilst you're driving for 2 hours. Who knows? But yeah, and then we have that, and then we have the TS2 Championship, where they run for the Bathurst 250, followed by the top 6 shootout. And then on Sunday we have the final race of the Porsche Cup Series for race 3, with the final show spectacle being the Elite Breaker Mechanical Trackstars Racing Series Touring Car Championship Bathurst 1000.
Yeah, it's definitely a big weekend to come, and I think we're going to need as much rest as we can by the time we get to Sunday. So it's going to be
I'll be waiting for that rest day, that's for sure. I think, myself and Ando were joking about it. They were saying Monday is our rest day, because then Tuesday we have to get back into it. So we're going to be full on with our racing. But yeah, we have a lot of drivers doing double duties, triple duties today. So it's going to be really interesting to see how everything all shapes up. But as we hit past the quarter past mark, I hope everybody is in your lobby and we are good to go for race 2.
We are. So far, let me just edit that end timer. That was a little bit too long there. So I think, where is it?
Up the top,
Yeah,
underneath
race
the
finish
initial
delay.
fuel.
30-second race finish delay. Just
Well, you can go a bit longer, so that way it gives me a bit more.
I'll go a
Yeah, so
minute.
that way I can get a bit more like of an accurate timing
Yeah, we'll go
when
a
it comes
minute.
to the results page.
And I'll be
Yeah.
nice and I'll reduce their fuel by 5 litres, so it'll be about another lap. So.
Oh, you've been too kind. I'm going to give my guys the heaviest cars available, so you prepare yourself.
Yeah, no, that's.
No.
I did have it on default actually, so I was lucky that I did fix that, the fuel usage.
Exactly.
But no, it's.
But obviously, once these guys finish their typing, starting soon, we're about to get our race started very shortly. So keep an eye on the race screen, folks. We're about to get underway very shortly.
Alright, just give me a second. I just need to adjust the grid again. I'll be back shortly. Give me 2 minutes, guys. Sorry about that. Right, sorry about that, guys. I just had to reset the grid. So I just waiting for Sir Slayer. Okay, he's back. So we're gonna go race green. Right now, everyone's ready to go. We're ready for race 2.
Sounds good. Sounds good, DJ. We've got race 2 underway. So nice, short, fast races for our drivers here tonight. Obviously, some drivers pulling double duties where they'll be qualifying the Elite Braking Mechanical Touring cars later this evening at around about 8 o'clock Australian Eastern Daylight Time. So we have a few drivers doing some double duties. But we have up the front, we have a Venti Super Soft versus H4M Wallet. It is reverse grid time, so you see the names down the bottom. Sir Slayer and It's Racing, that's not where they finished in the first race. It's just the way that it is for reverse grid racing. But as we wait for those lights, the countdown's going to be on. Is it going to be H4M or Venti coming into the lead of turn 1? Lights are on and lights are out. Green flag racing, and H4M Wallet's got himself the perfect jump over Venti, and Robbo Sports coming through the field into second place. And looks like it's getting a bit hairy. They're 3 wide into Hell Corner. I don't know how the hell they made that, DJ.
Yeah,
that was an unbelievable start.
We're still going 3
wide. Oh my goodness, this is unbelievable scenes here. And we're seeing, obviously we do see a bit of desperation with some drivers trying to progress their way into the field, and that's what reverse grid does, ladies and gentlemen. You can get some drivers to be a little bit aggressive, but so Slayer just copped a bit of a barrier, a bit of a how you doing at Griffin's Bend there, and he's dropped all the way back down outside the top 10 in 11th place, trying to make his way through. A bit of contact with Vossi. Isa Matsumakas hitting the wall of the cutting. There's all the action down here, DJ, but look up front, Robbo Sports just trying to clear away from all the mess, and he's pulled the trigger. and he's leading the first lap coming towards the grade and McPhillamy Park.
Yeah, he's done a solid, outstanding start there to be out in front. So hopefully he can just gap H4M. There is. He runs a little bit wide. Oh, what's going on down here, Cowboy? Oh, jeez.
Oh, he saved that. He's done a very good job of going side by side with Benjo. So really nice side by side. Actually, they just caught a little bit too much there, but how he managed to save that and just keep it on the track, who knows? But I do say that. Looks like he's just had a bit of a get together down at the dipper there, unfortunately. So as we catch back to see that replay. Oh, yeah, that's a big mess there. That's something that we don't want to see. We don't want to see drivers going 3 wide into the dipper. That is physically impossible there. So as I see something going on here, looks like we see Rocket Lily is in second place. So something's happened to H4M again, and he's all the way down in 7th place. And not the race that H4M wanted in the first couple of races here in the Porsche Cup. But Rocket Lily is in 2nd place with Brake Lane in 3rd, Benjo in 4th, and It's Racing in 5th place.
Yeah, they're doing a pretty solid job with that. If you look up here, he's in 5th place. We've got It's Racing up in 5th place. So,
and he's 2 places ahead of Sir Slayer, so this could become really crucial of who starts on pole position in race 3. So it needs to try and get at least one more, or Sir Slayer needs to try and be right on his tail to try and get close to him. But It's Racing has got Benjo right in front of him. Does It's go for the move? He does, and does he send it on the inside? He does very nicely. So good job there, It's Racing, and for Benjo, good respectable racing there. And Sir Slayer, look at that, he's still stuck in 7th place behind H4M Wallet, and we can see. Obviously, no moves have been made up the front because we've got Robbo still leading. But yeah, so Slayer and It's Racing is going to be the battle for the H's. And Brock Lee just missed the corner there through Saltman Park. And look at that, brake late's right on his tail again. But then again, DJ, we've got the driver that's going to cause havoc. It's Racing in 4th place.
Yeah, we all know he's a fast driver, but obviously being manager and stuff like that, he's got too much and he can't commit to a full season. So he's jumped in. He had a late entry, so he's at the back.
Somebody's off. It is Brock Lily. He's just, I will say, ladies and gentlemen, it is Brock Lily's first race on the wheel. So he goes from a motion pad user to a wheel. And to take it out on your first outing at Mount Panorama on a tight, twisty circuit, I'm not so sure if that's wise for Brock Lily, because he has to do the qualifying for the Touring Car Championship shortly.
Yeah, he's jumping in for, I believe it's with Brandosa, so I wonder if he can move that car up a little bit higher up the field. But look who we got here. We got Sir Slayer in 6th place, all over the back of Benjo and Brock Lily. Benjo runs a little bit too wide there. He runs a little bit wide again.
He goes too wide. Oh, he just clips the barrier there. So very unlucky for Benjo there. So unlucky. All the ISR boys from 4th place, 5th, 6th and 7th place at the time. But Benjo just goes crumbling down the order. Unfortunate event there. But look at that. It's Racing has moved himself back up into 2nd place now. I wonder if I'm It's Racing, would I let my also fellow series manager in Robbo Sport take the victory in Porsche Cup?
I think he'll be hunting Robbo down definitely, but that 5.6 second deficit, that's a big margin to close down in 3 laps. So
yeah, it is. It definitely is a big margin, and I think. I know. Well, we both know Jarvin very well, and he won't give up. That's for sure. He will put up a fight, and if he comes down to the last lap, he will make it go to the last lap. But as I say, the slipstream is quite strong, but brake late has actually gone a little bit too deep, and he's lost the slip. So this is very crucial for Sir Slayer to try and make a move on brake late as quickly as he can, because if he makes that move, they'll be tied on points, and it'll go back on race count, on race victories, and that will be given to Sir Slayer.
Yeah, definitely. So that was brake late. I definitely look on the defence here, but I noticed It's is on a purple lap and so is Sir Slayer, so they're definitely on some sort of racing mode. So Slayer's sending it up the outside of brake late through there, and he pulls that move off.
He centered down Forest Albert. He made that move very nicely. Very top job there, Sir Slayer. So we don't really see too many moves down at Forest Albert, as it is a very tight section of the track, and it's usually just the one line unless you get the braking right. But Sir Slayer has actually gone towards the inside, which will turn to the outside at the chase here. Brake late is going to have the best chance for Alp to, well, pun intended, maybe brake later than Sir Slayer when it comes down to the chase. He has done, and he's pulled a very nice move off. So top stuff to brake late, making his debut at Trackstars. He's putting up a good fight.
Yeah, that was very solid. That was a very solid move there. But look at this, Broccolili's now come to play. So I wonder if Broccolili's going to try and drop Sir Slayer down the pack even further.
So this is good. So this is very interesting. Their teammates, obviously, maybe they don't. Maybe Broccolili doesn't know that Sir Slayer is in a championship fight in the elite class, and especially now with this racing, with its racing. So I wonder if Broccolili's going to try and push. No, he's not. He's actually going to go for the move. So he's actually going to fight Sir Slayer. And this is hurting Sir Slayer from taking the victory in race 1. He's going to drop himself down probably as low as 5th place on the entry to Griffin's Bend. Does he hang around the outside? Oh, contact's been made between the teammates, and Vossi is right behind him in the other ISR camp. In the other ISR car, look at that. Sir Slayer goes from one corner from 4th place to about 5th place. So he just managed to lose 1 position there. But again, look at that. Brake late is braking a bit late than compared to the normal drivers do up at the cutting there, and he's losing time thick and fast. But look at that, still Robbo Sport leading the way ahead of It's Racing. So if I was Robbo, just keep a cool head, mate. You've got your series admin right behind you, but don't give him any leeway. Just put up a good fight against him.
Yeah, that's right. You've got a 3-second gap there. He's just dropped it down, and look at that gap close. Look at that gap close. It is now 1.7 seconds with a lap and a half to go. So that little tiny mistake there that Robbo's had through that little run down the hill there from the elbow down to the, from the tipper down to the elbow, that's closed that gap from 3.5 seconds to 1.7. So can It's Racing get a good run out of here and close that gap even further to be in that slipstream contention?
Exactly right. It's not far. It's about 1.7, so he needs to try and get at least a second and a bit to try and get in that slipstream range. But with Robbo and It's Racing, there's going to be a nice battle towards the end there. So we'll keep an eye on that later on as Robbo runs a bit too deep into Murray's corner there. So he's lost a lot of time and he's gone onto the gravel. So we've got 1 more lap, ladies and gentlemen. It is between the series admin and team captains of the Trackstars Racing Series. Robbo Sport representing the Robbo Sport Racing Camp in It's Racing, the team boss and the series admin of Trackstars Racing Series and the It's Racing Esports, duking it out for the final lap here to take the win here at race 2. And we see back there, so Slayer's about to make a move on brake late there, and hopefully he gets himself up back into 3rd place. He's going to think about going around the outside again. Does he have a bit of a braking caliber on this car? Can he make it stick? He goes a bit deep. Does he run wide? He has done, so very unlucky for Sir Slayer. So he's going to have to regroup, think again. Where's the next best move to make an overtake on brake late? We'll have to wait and see, but we'll look back towards the front. We will have to keep an eye on Robbo and It's Racing. How's that gap? Has that gap closed between those two guys? It's very crucial. It has closed, and look at that. It's under a second now. So Robbo and It's Racing gonna go side by side down towards the end of the straight here, possibly. But Robbo Sports just going to keep a cool head, just find the right line. It's Racing can make a mistake on the final lap here, but the pressure's building, DJ.
Yeah, there it is, and he's made a little tiny mistake there, and It's Racing's about to go too wide down here through the elbow, so it's just pulled a little over and under here, so he's going to just jump in the slipstream, maybe give him one push or try and make the move. So he'll try and duke out Robbo to see where he's going to go down here. So he's gone for the inside down in the chase, so he's put that nose in, and look at that drag. So it's just a drag race down the straight. So I wonder if Robbo might try and go for a little bit of a crisscross here coming out of the chase, but this is definitely one to watch.
Oh, not even. It's Racing he's actually pulled it, and he's made the move before the chase there. So great racing between It's Racing and Robbo, and there might be a bit of stick when it comes to the series management chat. But for the final time around the final corner of Murray's corner, it is It's Racing for the Car 95 Cartel Hire and Equipment taking the victory here at Trackstars. No, it's actually Robbo Sport. That's actually unbelievable. That's quite funny.
Yeah, he looks like he's halted on the brakes there, but yeah, so we got Robbo taking out the lead there. So I wonder if that was a bit of tactics there, because Robbo is in the championship fight as well. So I wonder if that was some extra points there for. That was a little bit of a, as they say, it was a baby gift. Back in the Fast and
That's-
Furious quotes.
Oh, that's quite funny actually. So, well, there you go. I think maybe Jarman was thinking, well, you led most of the race, so I'll give you the victory. I think you thoroughly deserve it. But yes, it will count in the history books that Robbo Sport does take the victory ahead of Hits Racing and Brake Late on his day, making his debut in Trackstars on the podium. So a nice solid there for Brake Late, but Sir Slayer is down in 4th place. DJ, so there's a lot of work for Sir Slade to do in the final race come Sunday morning, but Robbo Sport takes bragging rights and the line honours here at race 2 at Trackstars Racing Series Porsche Cup, where we run through the grid. We're going to find some honourable mentions here. James O'Bro coming in late was finished in 6th place there, so all the way down from last place to 6th. So that's a good recovery drive from James O'Bro. Look it down in 11th, DJ. We see Benjo 19. He's down in 11th place there, so very unlucky there for Benjo. I think he was as high up as 4th place and down in 11th place. Very unlucky.
Yeah, that's very unlucky there. But as we say that, I need to save this replay, I need to get those results in, and I need to head over to your room. So just to keep on time at the moment. So we are running a little bit late, but you know, that was definitely some good racing there. But Venti pulling out the I hate controller, mate. Hate's a big word. Don't be like that. you'll have all the DS4 boys coming for you.
Exactly right. All right, fellas. Well, thanks for tuning in for Trackstars Racing Series Division 2.